friends, we're going to do an exclusive on this guy called Revival Fitness. Yes, man. This gym lifting, recruiting, fitness supplement slave. And, well, I don't know. I guess maybe he is natural. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to react to his video. So, Revival Fitness says, I stayed small until I realized this, my unseen first video. Well, he was small until he realized he aged the shit out of himself. That's what he realized by over-exercising himself. All right.
Chest up, shoulders back. This is a Revival Fitness. Let's go on a journey, shall we? Because I found the first video that I ever filmed before I even started the channel.
A journey. I can't wait.
I think I had the channel name in mind back then. I've talked about this in the past and I've shown pictures of it, but you're going to see now, of my own admission, the really failure of progress. I was going to say that I made, I guess the progress I failed to make in my almost first 3 years in the gym. And this is a great example of what happens when you don't have access to good information, or at least...
Yes, many people do that. You want to know the mistakes people make? They go to the gym and they work out and they don't listen to their instincts. And then they've adapted to the exercises and then they become exercise slaves. And they can't figure out why they're not growing. Because originally they went to the gym because they thought, well, I'm going to go to the gym and build some muscle. I'm going to get big and strong and all that kind of stuff, whatever. And then they become exercise slaves. And then they become these performing, lifting, endurance slaves, yes. And then they perform for the other slaves in the gym. They all go in there. They keep coming back performing for the other slaves. Yeah. And they accelerate aging by coming too often to the gym.
You don't follow good information. And unfortunately, whenever you are a young lifter, you have really no way to decipher what's good and what's not until it's too late. And then you realize that you wasted a lot of time. So check this out.
Hello, Internet. This is Matt from Revival Fitness. I'm now...
Well, I remember his channel when he first started. You know that? It's funny. Look at his... Listen to his voice. Listen to his voice and look at his face. Look at him. He looks really young here.
Over 3 years in my lifting career.
Now look at him. He's an old man. He's aged himself. Becoming a lifting slave, a performing lifting slave. Bro, man. He's never really built any muscle. He just lowered his body fat. And he keeps inflaming his muscles, inflammatory response. There's some mass there, like, water and glycogen and stuff like that. But he hasn't really built very much muscle because he doesn't know how to. And many people, they don't understand the process. They don't know how to either. They don't understand it's based on micro damage. And if you don't have any micro damage, there's nothing to really grow there. See what I mean? Yeah. And if they ever do get it, they run away from it. They don't like it because it's associated with this thing called DOMS. And they don't like DOMS. So they're just like, I don't want that. See, this is a lifting slave. Notice it went up really hard. He's so focused on the concentric, and we all know that concentric is not associated with muscle damage. Therefore, it is not associated with growth. Concentric exercises do not grow muscles because they shorten the muscle. There's a shortening. You understand me? You're compressing the muscle. Shortening, compression, extension. When you extend, the muscle can damage and then it can grow. But the problem is it's going down a lot lighter because notice the relief on his face when it goes down. He's all stressed when it goes up, but when it goes down so light. Because remember, you're going with gravity. That's where all the growth is. You're going with gravity. So if it is going down 2 times lighter than when it went up 2 times heavier, well, then it means it's supposed to go 2 times heavier down than it is 2 times lighter supposedly going down. See the difference? That's why he's adapted. This is already adapted a long time ago. The muscle already repaired and remodeled itself a lot stronger. He got a little bit, some sarcomeres, whatever. And so it's so protected now when it goes down, regardless of how heavy he tries to go up. And he's really not really going that heavy. Honestly, listen to me. At this point and stage of his lifting, he's not going that heavy. Watch. Hold on, let's go back there a bit. He's not really going that heavy.
I'm now over 3 years.
Okay, he's posing. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. Shit.
3 years in my lifting career.
Right there. He's not really going that heavy, honestly. And that's the problem with a lot of lifters. And look at him. He's like, oh my God, he's like so at the top. And then it goes down so light. Look. Let's see his arm if it fully extends. Yeah, it's extended, but it's light. He's relieved. Stress going up on the face. Like I said, at this point, he's coming in. He's probably doing the same rep scheme, set, weight, lifting these weights, whatever. He's not focused on overloading the eccentric because that's where all the growth happens. See what I mean? And a lot of these lifters make that mistake, and they all become performing lifting gym slaves for all the rest of the slaves in the gym. Look around him. Yes. Him back then, he was doing some dumbbells there on that preacher thing. Oh, brother. I guess he's doing some cable here. If I could only see how much weight is on there, I could explain to you why he says current overload. There's no overload there. There's no overload because if it was overloaded, he wouldn't be able to complete it for a complete concentric. You understand me? Look, if the weight was overloaded on the eccentric, it means you can't make it for a full concentric, okay? And he obviously is making it, and that is his big fucking mistake. Look at his arms are so small. And that's the reason why he's small. He definitely has reduced body fat. Not much. There's not like that much compared to many skinny people that are around there. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. And yeah, it's not big.
So I don't know when you start.
He's really small. For lifting all those years, he's really small. Hell, I could just lift for 6 months straight and I get massive, bro. I just do a lot of eccentric overload and bang, I'm massive, bro.
Lifting. I was in college. Like, typical searches, how to build muscle, best workout routine to build muscle, all this other shit, right? It's not like today, you young whippersnappers, you have all this content, you go on Instagram, and there's 700.
Sorry, I had to take that call.
50 people talking about how to optimize myofibrillar hypertrophy. We didn't have that back in my day.
I love this. We didn't have that back in my day. How about my day? I'm 57. How about back in my day? We didn't have that back in my day. You had it back in your day because you were on the internet. Believe me, they even had Elite Fitness. They have all these boards since like the millennium. They had all these boards where people would write, talk about lifting. There's so many pages, GeoCities, this, that, whatever. They're all gone now, a lot of those. The free stuff is gone. But there's still stuff online. There's web pages. There's all kinds of stuff they talk about lifting. What are you talking about? What is this guy talking about? Then there's YouTube. YouTube's been around for quite a long time, man. It's been around for more than 15, 16, 17, 18 years or some shit. People have been posting on YouTube all kinds of stuff, exercise, training videos, this, that. But the premise of what builds real muscle, because that's what he's actually running after, because he's trying to so-called body build, whatever he's doing here, bodybuilding. But again, bodybuilding is not based on concentric lifting. You understand me? That's why they developed this thing called powerlifting. They had removed the big four from bodybuilding and they focus on just concentric lifting. You understand me? On a forced production. That's why powerlifting does not build bodies. That's why they get frustrated. They think that a body should build because if I get it stronger, I should get it bigger. And you don't get a stronger, you don't get strong and then you get bigger at doing concentric lifts. You got better at lifting. You understand the difference? People really have to, you really have to use your brain. Listen, man, if your body is not growing, and I'm not talking about eating fake food and growing fat, eating carbohydrates and garbage, fake slave food diets. I'm talking about lifting concentrically, the big four, doing just concentric without the eccentrics, and you're getting more force production. You're getting better. You're not getting bigger and stronger. So a stronger can't get you bigger. It's impossible. But if you get bigger, you get stronger in eccentrics. It's the opposite. Why? Because you damaged your muscle and now it has to adapt by doing what? By getting bigger. And once it gets bigger, it gets stronger. See that's how it works. But anyways, he doesn't know that because he doesn't know anything. And he sells programs. He sells programs on trying to build your body, a bunch of things, this guy, because these are the kind of channels that people gravitate toward. You understand me? The stupidity, the stupidness.
You had to go searching on bodybuilding.com. Is that site still around?
I've never had a
Bodybuilding.com. I remember them. And what about bodybuilding.com? They never clue you in. They don't even clue you in that eccentric exercise is associated with muscle growth, not concentric. And science tells you that everywhere, dude.
steady teacher or program to follow. I've just gone on bodybuilding.com and typed in, I want to build muscle, I want to gain some strength, and, Jim Stepani 6-week, whatever the hell comes up.
He wants to build some muscle. He wants to build some strength. If you want to build muscle and you want to build strength, eccentric exercise. It's superior to concentric in every way. Concentric can only do one thing. It can only activate the nervous system, the motor unit's nervous system. That's it. Maybe accumulate some androgen receptors, more force production for molecules to bind. That's it. It can only do that. That's why it's not superior. It's not superior because it cannot build any muscle. It cannot build muscles in parallel or in series because it has to be damaged for that thing to happen. You understand me? And it can only happen where? The growth factors are activated where? In eccentric exercise, because that's where the damage happens.
You get a little bit out of it, and then you flop to another program. I've never ran a program for more than 6 months.
The first program I think I ever did, I don't know if I can even find it now. This was many years ago. Big man.
The first program. He is still making, he's still, these people are so stubborn. They hate my channel. You understand me? A lot of people hate my channel. Why? Why do they hate my channel? Think about it. Why do people hate my channel? Because I speak the truth, but they are stubborn and they won't listen to me. You understand me? They won't listen to my videos. They'll come and write me nasty things. And they'll continue on this journey of failure. You understand me? Some people are so stubborn, they'll just keep, like Blaha, they'll just keep hacking at it, thinking that they can get a different outcome out of concentric. And concentric does not build bodies. It does not change your body, does not transform your body, does not build sarcomeres, does not build in parallel series, does not build myofibrillars, does not build fibers, does not build fuck all. It doesn't do anything. It pumps your muscles up. You know that? It gets you better at being a performing lifting slave, because concentric is based on performance, because it doesn't compromise sportive performance. That's why bodybuilding can never be a sport. It's based on you building your body big and strong, and then strength, power, speed, and performance can be performed later. See what I mean? So you have to take the time out to build yourself, and then you can use it. But not until then, no. And if you get this damage in a sport, which is the worst part. That's why you want to get these repeated bouts of damages so that you're protected from damage. So if you are a sports person and you do perform, you don't want to get damaged there, because it'll compromise sportive performance and it'll fuck you. You understand me? You'll lose.
On campus. Great marketing. I was like, well, I want to be the big.
It's happened to many people. And what he's talking about here, this marketing, these people, these programs he found, it's all fake.
Man on campus. I think that was a bro split. This was way back when I thought lateral raises worked your lats, like your back. So I would grab these really heavy dumbbells and I would just hurl lateral raises up at my side. And I was like, oh, my back is really growing. No idea what I was talking about. But, in hindsight, maybe that's the secret.
And no, he's still making the same mistakes like everybody else. They keep using their arms. That's why their arms are small, because they have been overtrained. There's a difference between overworking an arm to get this damage in the eccentric, and then there's a difference between overtraining. If you overtrain, it'll shrink the muscle. So you end up with these small arms, and then you start, your back is really not growing because you're just, ass cheek squeezing your muscles constantly, concentrically. You think that bodybuilding is based on concentric lifting, and it is not, because you want to be comfortable, a comfortable slave. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You understand me? An eccentric exercise is uncomfortable. And if you want something, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But if you want to be comfortable being a lifting slave, performing lifting slave, then go ahead, do concentric lifts, and you'll look like this guy, small and skinny.
To big delts. You guys always go crazy about my shoulders. Maybe that's the secret. Try some well-intentioned.
He's small. Here's another thing. He's small, skinny, and weak for his age. He's a young guy, but he's really weak, man. When I was his age, I was a fucking brute. Christ. I could lift extremely heavy. I could move lots of heavy weight. So for his age, and he can't move this weight around, everything, he's so skinny, so small, is just unusual.
But misguided lateral raises and just cheat like crazy on them. But speaking of, if you want to stop wasting time in the gym, because I know a lot of you are, you guys send me.
There you go. He tries to impress you with these pictures, right? Took these pictures. He got low body fat. A lot of people do this online now. Alpha Destiny, everybody, they all went the way of low body fat, look muscular, low body fat. Even this Jeffrey Schofield, he cheated too. He took something, got pumped up with glycogen and low body fat and glyco-loaded. You understand me? To impress people, to get them to come to the channel. If you're so desperate that you have to do these things to impress people, you know what I mean? Here's the thing. And people are brainwashed. They're easily brainwashed. Young people are easily enticed by this crap. They say this crap, and then they buy these programs or whatever, and then it fails them. In the end, it fails them. You understand me? What I do can't fail anybody, because I base it on the principles of real bodybuilding. Real bodybuilding is based on eccentric exercise. That's it. Eccentric overload exercise. It is not based on concentric lifting. Because it'll tell you that everywhere. AI everywhere, NCBI, PubMed. That's all they ever talk about is eccentric exercise. They never talk about concentric exercise. Never.
Your programs all the time, and a lot of them are complete train wrecks. Even if they're not a total train wreck, they are, kind of going off the track a little bit. They could be buttoned up much better. Check out my links down below. I have great reviews and testimonials on my site. Stop wasting time. I mean it as someone who did myself, guys. You can make a...
See, stop wasting your time. I have testimonials and everything. You have to join my thing, because I finally made it, and he didn't make it. He didn't make it. I'm telling you, people, he didn't make it.
More progress
He still hasn't made it.
than you think once you dial your training in.
He's made zero progress, okay? I'm not joking. He's made zero progress other than he got skinny, losing body fat. That's about it. Like a lot of lifters in the gym, they just reduce the body fat. You understand me? That's all they could really do, is starve themselves. Is that hard to do? Starve yourself so you can lose body fat? Come on. Again, notice the expression on his face. He's pulling this down, but when it goes up easy. Watch. See? It goes up really easy. Now he's ready to pull it down again. He's squeezing in his face. Man, you could pretty much do the entire stack on here. What you have to do is leverage your knees underneath the bar here. There's a bar there that's holding that your knees go under, and you leverage and keep your body up, right? What you want to do is bounce the weight down. You want to pull it like you're bouncing it. Once you get it down, the most important is the weight going up in the opposite direction, because that's where you're going to get the most damage eccentrically. See what I mean? It is not important by bringing it down. Even if you can't manage it all the way down, even if you can bring it down partially down, that is important. Because why is that important partially? Because remember, it's the eccentric that's the most important, the overload on the eccentric, not the concentric, if you really want to build muscle. See him?
Damn it.
But he's trying so hard to bring it all the way down to his chest, which he's still not totally managing, but he's not focused on the eccentric. And therefore, if you're not mentally focused on the eccentric, you will not get this damage and you will not grow. I'm not joking.
I'm pissed off now because I got the same weight and reps on this lat pull down last week. A lot of the stuff I've been doing has been...
Yeah, and he's been doing that consistently. Same weight, same rep scheme, same everything. Becomes repetitive, like Blaha.
Improving very smoothly. There's some stuff though, lat pull downs being one of them. Man, it is just slowing down to a crawl at this point. And I will say I have been having some shoulder issues. Like, it's weird, like the bicep and front delt area.
And he wants to sell you a program? He wants to tell you how to build your body when he can't even build his own. Okay. He's got problems with his shoulders. They're hurting. I know why they're hurting. Because he's overtraining. You understand me? He's overtraining. And concentric exercise starts wearing out your shoulder joints and everything. It's not regenerative. When you get damage, this damage in the eccentric, that's where all the magic happens. It can regenerate your joints and stuff, your ligaments, tendons, your muscles, everything. And that's why he's complaining now. He's got pain.
I was doing the typical bro thing and just totally ignoring it and just praying it would get better until it got worse and worse, and it was even affecting some of my lifts. But I'll tell you what really helped. This is the Bob and Brad.
Okay, he wants to sell you a device. Again, it's all about sales, selling your program, selling your device, more fake stuff. I don't want to know.
Not targeting anything too specifically. If you want...
Okay, I don't want to know about this. Let's see what else he has here.
So I did that for, I want to say, a number of months. I was very typical back then too. I would program hop. So I would do something for a number of flashy new program, and I would go do that. I think the next main one I did was 6 weeks to shred. I wanted to get lean, even though I was already like 155, 160-ish pounds. So I guess effectively recompositioned to a decent degree. I mean, it's not impossible.
He recompositions to a degree. What did he recomposition here? He got fluffy. That's all he got, fluffy. He got some glycogen.
But I was not strong at all. How strong was I, in fact? Let's see.
He wasn't strong because he didn't build any muscle, that's why.
Over 3 years in my lifting career, and I'm not able to bench 225.
Holy shit, that was 3 years in his lifting career, and that's all he got? Christ, there's something wrong there, dude.
For reps, squat 315 for reps, and deadlift 405.
Yes, this happens to a lot of these lifting slaves in the gym that perform in lifting. Concentric lifting slaves, they end up like that, yes.
Reps. I've been in a gym at least 3 days a week for over 3 years, and I cannot do any of those things. That's something I want to be able to do now. I mean, I'm a young man in my 20s. I'm about to be in the prime of my life, and I'm nowhere near those numbers. And given the time I've spent in the gym and all the hours I've put into training and eating, and I still can't do those, it's pretty embarrassing.
Again, you can look at all these different groups, what they're doing. Look at calisthenics guys. They look jacked, right? What are the exercises that they do? Pull-ups and dips. Those are their main exercises, okay? They do shoulder presses. They do shoulder presses standing up. And they do dips and pull-ups, which is taken from bodybuilding. These emphasize heavily on the eccentrics, okay? That's what they do. They emphasize heavily eccentrically. Then you get power lifters. They lift concentrically, super heavy, but they are not jacked. And so I'm not talking about getting fat or taking steroids. I'm talking about they do not get jacked, okay? Doing lifts concentrically. It's not associated with muscle growth. So this guy, like, can he not visually see that? And then you just have bodybuilding where people do, like, bodybuilding. But the traditional bodybuilding, they don't do that anymore today. They do not focus on eccentric exercise like bodybuilders in the past did. See what I mean? The bodybuilders today do too much concentric work because because ever since they split up this powerlifting, they moved the powerlifting thing. People look at powerlifting, they focus on that, and they think, well, we just have to lift really heavy in the gym. And so they turn this so-called, what you call accessory work, they've turned it now into concentric lifting. Get it, bro? They've turned everything into powerlifting in the gym. It's crazy. They're really stupid. They don't realize that it's the opposite. It's supposed to be eccentric overload, not concentrically overloading. You understand me? Is where the magic happens, eccentrically.
And I get a lot of flack in the comments, especially because I recommend bench squat and deadlift strength standards as general proxies of progress.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more coming up in the intermediate purgatory video. I know I mentioned that like a month ago. I'm terribly behind schedule all the time. Thanks for sticking with me. But I could do a bunch of pull-ups and chin-ups in a row with body weight. I could even have added...
Wow, this guy's really skinny. Holy shit.
some plates if I wanted to, probably like 10, 15, maybe up to 20 pounds or more back then for some reps. I could do dips. I could do plenty of push-ups. The fact of the matter was, man, I just not have that much muscle yet. That's what this really comes down to with not only the novice phase, but this entire process in general, man. A lot of guys...
And he's never going to build any muscle, and neither will any of the people buying his crazy programs, and nobody watching his channel will ever build muscle following him. Want to know why? Because all of you are lifting gym slaves, bro. So all the people, all these minions are probably going to come and write me on my comment section nasty things because I'm doing videos on him. But guess what? I'm not the one that's losing. When you write these nasty comments, you're the loser, not me. Because you don't know what my channel is about. See, I definitely do slave videos, but in my slave videos, I reveal what really builds muscle if you listen carefully. But you don't want to listen because you're stubborn, because you're a minion and you love Revival Fitness. He's your god.
It's very funny, like they watch these dudes online that are so big and jacked.
Oh yeah.
And they want to look similar to them, then they'll say, well, no, I don't actually want to be that big. It's like, okay, sure, I understand that. You don't want to be as big as Sam Sulik, right? Okay.
Sam Sulik is on steroids. He doesn't have any muscle, bro. He's fake. It's very puffy, you understand me? That's very massy compared to density. Yeah, it's good to have some mass, but it's better to have dense muscles than mass.
However, you want to have some percentage of the muscle mass that he has. I mean, like if you're here...
No, you want to focus on density. And the majority of density will come from eccentric exercise. It definitely will mass up as well, but you want to focus on density. Huh.
And someone like Sulik is here, you're going to have to get to like at least around here, bro.
I know what he's saying when he says mass. He's talking about lifting concentrically, so they're going to go for the pump, get a glycogen loading, and increase the mass with glycogen. That is just crazy. You don't want that. You want to increase fiber count, myofibrillar count.
To get to your goal. If you stay stuck forever, though, you're never going to get out of this part. And that's what happens whenever you, one, have poor programming, two, have suspect nutrition, that's coming up in a moment in this video, and then three, you just won't gain weight. Like I mentioned, my weight was in this range really for almost 3 years. I mean, I never really escaped the 150-pound range. Commie math for you Europeans and everybody else, that's what, like, I want to say 70-ish kilograms. But I think this machine finally opened up. Let's check. Never mind, false alarm.
It's starting to hit me that my body doesn't disagree with powerlifting or anything like that, like I used to think it was. You know, my body's not different. I don't need to do different.
See, there you go, powerlifting. I told you. Man, I already know all the mistakes these people make. Bam, it goes back to powerlifting again. They carry this powerlifting over to bodybuilding, and they think that it's based on concentric lifting, and it's not. That bodybuilding is not a sport. It's not a pageant. It can't be a sport because it's compromised sport of performance. Eccentric exercises. We do not do concentric exercises.
I've just never been on a good program.
The biggest programming problem that I see across anything that guys send me beyond even what's on paper, because you can make any program work, assuming it's just not horrifically designed. What they lack is like a proper structure, and there's no real progression scheme. That's got to be the biggest issue, because I talk to guys all the time.
I don't think any of you have ever met a real bodybuilder besides me. I did post some old pictures of me from a long time ago because they're the only ones I could find that I've left over. But I don't think any of you have ever really met a real bodybuilder. See, people in the past, when they met me in person, I was a real bodybuilder. Even I seen steroid people walking down the street. I remember this guy walking one time with a girlfriend on steroids, whatever. They looked at me. I was fucking massive, bro, and dense. But I didn't take steroids to build my body. It doesn't look steroidally like. But I looked big and massive. And I was super strong. Not like them, weak. I could do arm wrestling and anything because I built myofibulars. They didn't build myofibulars. You understand me? They just pumped their muscles concentrically. They failed concentrically, so they took steroids. You understand me? Because they failed. And so they continued in that behavior. So what do you think they built? Just because they took steroids and they kept pumping their muscles concentrically, what do you think they built? Nothing. They masked up. They masked up through glycogen, the sarcoplasm.
And I'm like, okay, so when are you adding weight? And they'll say, when I think I can, or when I feel like it, or, oh, well, I increase the weight by X pounds, say plus 5 pounds, whenever I can do a given number of reps. And that all sounds good, especially the latter of that. I see oftentimes that's evidently not happening, whether that is because you're...
He's adding more weight concentrically, not eccentrically. You understand me? That's his problem.
Plateaued so much, or because you don't actually have a scheme you're really following, you're kind of just going by feel. Understand something, guys, especially as a novice, the more experience you get, the more you can do this. Like, I'm at the level now where you can do this, but as a beginner, part of this as a guy too, it's very tough because our egos are so big, especially as young men. You think you're the shit, you think you know everything. Even if deep down you know that you don't, you'll never admit it.
As a young man getting into this game, your ego is going to get the better of you, and it's probably controlling you almost every step of the way. At least mine was, and it still is to a good degree. I'm working to fix that.
You need to be able to acknowledge the fact that you just don't know. So guys will just go, I mean, I was in the same boat. You'll just go on, and maybe you'll look things up online and you'll find some guy like, oh, he looks good, I'll listen to what he says. But that's pretty much the extent of it. You don't really have a way to verify what you're doing, that it's good or viable.
No, because they have to prove to you that this will actually give the results that you're looking for, and they're not. Just, he says, I looked at a guy and he has a look, and so I followed him just because of his look. No, you don't follow people just because of the way they look. That is one aspect. Okay, they look a certain way, but you're not going to look like them. You can't look like them. You look the way you look. The point is, they have to prove to you that this is the most viable way to build your body. This is the path that you should go on. They should have real proof. You understand me?
So you end up spinning your wheels. And guys will be like, no, bro, I listen to my body. You know,
He's not listening to his body, and he's still spinning his wheels, and all the rest of them are too.
Listen to Arnold, he said shock the muscle, so I shocked the muscle, or whatever it's going to be.
Arnold was on steroids. He faked it. How could he have shocked the muscles? Did it work for him naturally? No. So he took steroids. Come on. And he's not a real bodybuilder. He's just some beauty pageant guy, weird guy on stage.
Just have some rationalization for the fact that you don't have like a concrete plan in place long term. And you will pay for that. That might be the most painful part, because you can spend all the time you want when it comes to the training.
Yeah, the more you pay attention, the more you follow these fake bodybuilders like him and Arnold and everybody else, they'll lead you down the same road.
Well, a lot of you guys now go to the gym 6, God forbid, 7 days a week. I was doing that too. I don't think I ever went every single day.
7 days a week. Listen, I knew people like that. They didn't know what they were doing. They would come in twice a day and keep pumping their muscles. I knew one guy, even to this day, I knew one guy, he was coming in twice at the gym. I saw him. He would come twice a day to the gym to pump up his muscles. Crazy. And he was there practically 7 days a week.
But I was going 6 days a week religiously for a while when I was younger. Then once you finally get things squared away, it's like inconceivable to the guys that have not been through it yet. But you could legitimately cut your gym time in half, but make double the progress once you get these things sorted out. And you tell that to guys now and they're like, bro, that doesn't make any sense. You know, guys will get my stuff or they'll talk to me and I'll recommend a given thing. And they're just like, dude, I'll never do this. Like, how could I possibly build muscle? I'm doing less than I'm doing now. And I'm like, it doesn't matter, bro. What you're doing now isn't effective. if you're doing something effective, even in modest quantities, you're going to go much farther than if you do a ton of what's ineffective. But that mentality of always having to do more. I mean, dude, I'm in the gym right now. I can look around. I see it. You know, there's young dudes in here.
You can't do more in eccentric exercise. You only do it once. And then you need more time off so it can build like a house. You can only crash a house down once with a wrecking ball. But to build a house, it's going to take quite a while. Just like your muscles. You can only damage them once, but it's going to take quite a few days for it to build. You understand me? To repair and then remodel bigger and stronger so it can adapt to the weight. You grow with the weight. You get bigger, you get stronger. You increase that weight, you get damaged, you get bigger, you get stronger. First you get the woman, then first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman. It's not the woman, the power, and the money, okay? You understand me, man? It's not the opposite, dude. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman. Yeah.
They do 10 bicep exercises in one day, or they're doing chest and they just hit every machine, and then their friend strips the weight. They're doing drop sets. I mean, they're just throwing everything at these muscles. You know the common denominator with all these guys?
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of muscles. But it was only once that I finally...
Yeah, they don't have a lot of muscles because they threw everything at it. Concentrically lifting. Duh.
Graduated and got this down a bit more. I was getting to like the 70s, 75s, and 80s and beyond on the dumbbell bench press. When I was in college, in that situation I just described, I was permanently just lingering around the 50-pound dumbbells. And I know a lot of you guys are in the same circumstance. All right, this guy is still sitting on this machine, bro. I get resting for a while, but this is getting egregious. I might have to go do the thing where I...
You know, it's funny. I've done videos on him, and I even directed it to him. But I'm not directing any videos to him anymore. I don't care about him, man. I hope he fails. I honestly hope these channels fail, and he fails as well, because he doesn't know what builds muscle.
Stand next to him and get, like, really close, even if I don't...
Here's the thing. I don't want to help him. He's going to fail. Anyways, regardless, and so is his minions. They're all going to fail along with him. Everybody that watches him or that's subscribed to him or whatever.
Ask. I can just kind of stand there, and eventually he might like kind of get the cue and start, you know, moving his ass. That's probably happened to you guys too, right? Some people will come up and they'll directly be like, hey, how many sets do you have left? Other ones, they'll kind of just do that glare at you. I think I'm going to go glare at him.
It's like when his minions, when I did videos on him, the minions will come and they'll write me in my comment section. And they're failures. That's why they write in my comment section nasty hate stuff. You want to know why? Because they want to continue failing. They love to fail. And I don't care about them. They write me in my comment section. I really don't care, to tell you the truth. I already know they're going to fail. And that's the part where they failed. Get it? Because they came and wrote. They didn't try to investigate what the video was about or me, or what exactly I'm doing in the video. They just think, he did a video on him. It's a hate video. It must be a hate video. You know what I mean? They don't know what I'm doing. See that? He's so focused on the concentric, and when it goes down, it just keeps going down light, 2 times lighter. See how he's relieved when it went down? Look at his face. He's so relieved when it goes down because it's uncomfortable going up, but it's comfortable going down. And the fact is, it should be very uncomfortable going down, not comfortable or uncomfortable going up. It should be very uncomfortable going down. The opposite.
Hey friends, Eric here, and in this video I want to talk to you.
I recently started doing the Texas method because I wanted to improve my strength, and I was still so entrapped in the bodybuilding YouTube mindset that instead of just doing the lifts as outlined by Ripito, I have added so much additional work. Like I had chest work.
Now he's following these fake steroid people, Ripito, Schmo, whatever, these nobodies.
Back work. I'm still so trapped in this bodybuilding mentality of if I miss out just a little more muscle fatigue, if I miss out on just a little more of this, then I'm going to lose some gains. And that's not the case because I'm impeding my recovery of these big barbell movements that I want to be improving.
Oh yeah.
Do you see that? I'm sabotaging myself because my ego is too big.
When I came on YouTube, you guys had basically just seen me get into my intermediate gains. I mean, I guess you could say I was an early intermediate, but it was nothing remarkable. I mean, I still get comments now. If you go back and watch a lot of my earliest videos, people are like, dude, you look double the size now.
I hope so.
That's how it goes, man. I mean, it's going to take a while. Like, the results that a lot of you guys think you're going to
I don't see him as having double the size. I don't see that.
get, and I was the same way. A lot of this journey is overcoming fitness industry marketing, like the brainwashing and the completely unrealistic expectations you will get. That's one of the most important parts, because once you overcome that, you know, you can't really be disappointed anymore. I mean, maybe if you train for a long time, you can be, but one of the biggest problems is that people think they're going to get just remarkable results in very short time frames, and unfortunately, it does not work like that unless you're talking like bodybuilding at extremely high levels with.
No, you can get high levels of change, but the problem is he's doing everything in the opposite direction. You understand me? He's doing it wrong. Concentric exercises do not build muscles. They're great for performing, tweaking the nervous system and getting good at lifting that, but that doesn't build bodies. He obviously hasn't figured that out yet, which is astronomically weird. You understand me?
All kinds of chemistry going on, even then.
And he says nobody listens to their body. Well, he's obviously not listening to his.
It oftentimes doesn't happen there either.
I've started touching my chest when I bench regularly. I have adjusted my volume. That took me 3 years to get through my head, and I injured myself multiple times in the process. Don't be like me. Be smarter.
But once you get the general programming down, it really becomes an issue of eating. With the eating, because I was in college, man, I ate a lot of food, at least what I considered a lot of food, right? I would go to the dining hall and I would get a to-go container. And this is a hack for you college bros, by the way. You have a lot of food at your disposal there in the dining halls, at the cafeterias. Don't go out to eat all the time. I know, the dining hall food is boring, bro. Listen, guys. If you want to go very far in this lifestyle, even if you don't want to do bodybuilding or powerlifting or anything like that, if you just want to look good and you are somebody who is mid-range genetically, which is what pretty much all of you are going to be, serious genetic freaks are not watching this content. They've never had to go online and search like how to build muscle. But if you want to do that, you need to be in control of what you eat really at all times. I mean, you could have some days where you have a cheat meal here and there, or you take it, not 100% sure. But day in day
cheat meal, I recommend you do not eat any slave food diets. If you have to eat anything that's a carbohydrate, eat a complex carbohydrate like potatoes. Stay away from rice. It's got arsenic. It's bad for your health. And eat animal products and drink water. Clean water, filtered, whatever. Or mineralized water is much better. Groundwater.
out, you have to be in control of what you eat. There was no way around that. And I've told you guys before, what I like to do is eat the same thing over and over because it totally streamlines the process and makes it much
Maybe that's why he's failing. He eats a lot of slave food. I've seen his food.
easier. You don't have to do that. But I talk to guys all the time. Again, I see the same trends very consistently. Guys will deviate from the diet a little bit and they'll have numerous bad days in a row, if not weeks in a row. It's very easy to fall off the wagon. And even if you get enough protein, because most gym bros can get enough and also track their protein, but most are totally clueless of the overall intake. Not only that, but the composition, more importantly, of the carbs and the fats that they consume. Check out the Body Composition Bible at
You really don't need carbs, but okay, can help a little bit. Yeah, don't eat anything else that's man-made, engineered, whatever.
Take it all down in very good.
See how he impresses you, and then he shows you a picture with the abs, because he was able to get skinny, but he can't build muscle. Revival Fitness Body Composition Bible. Composition, I got skinny. In other words, I starved myself. Nutrition principles for more muscle and less fat. What muscle? He's definitely lost some fat here. Calories and macros, key nutrients. Okay. Bulk and cut, that's fake. Body fat troubleshooting. This isn't bodybuilding. All the stuff that he wrote here, this isn't bodybuilding. I don't know what he's talking about.
Detail there. It's much more than I could ever explain in a video like this. But if you do not have total control of your diet, at least the vast majority of the time, you're going to struggle to get not only the body you want in terms of the muscle mass, but the overall body composition. So it was very common for me. I would go to the dining hall and I would make a very standard plate. I would get, like, say, chicken breast or whatever sort of lean meat they had. I would get some type of carb source. I would get, like, okay, pasta or rice or whatever, and then maybe like a vegetable. You know, maybe some days I would want to have pizza or have some sweets or whatever. My metabolism runs so high, I can have sweets even on a pretty consistent basis and not really gain much fat. Some of you are on the other end of the spectrum. You can look at sweets and gain fat, okay? So whatever side of that spectrum you're on, you have to account for that for yourself. So if you're somebody that is in a, you're in your minor caloric surplus, but you're gaining a lot of fat, not only could you be eating too much overall, but you could be hurting yourself with the wrong types of foods. Again, you have to know what exactly you're eating, the ingredients, not just numbers on a piece of paper. Simple changes to the foods you eat could result in progress.
Yeah, yes and no. It could help you, like composition-wise, the food that you're eating. You're looking fat or skinny. But as far as muscle, you're just not doing it because your exercise is not geared towards that regardless.
It's not just like simple gym progress, but you can see clearer skin, better energy, better sleep.
Yeah, I would agree with him there. Look at him, he's like so like, gotta get it up to the top and then relax going down. He thinks it's all about the push. It's not about the push. It's about the weight pulling you back. You know when these guys say, I'm going to do a push and a pull day. Your push day is supposed to be really, it's a pull day. You get it? Your pull day is really, your pull day is really a pull day. It's supposed to be pulling you in the opposite direction. You pull up, but not full concentrically when you pull. But anyways, and your push too is supposed to be pulling you heavier going back, but whatever. And anyways, that doesn't work in concentric exercise, push-pull days, man. You can't do it once you get, if you got this damage, which I really doubt, because it just doesn't work well in these so-called push-pull days, bro. It's an overworking of that muscle. Unless, of course, you're overloading it. You know what I mean? But then again, if you, let's say you overload it, you do a lot of sets and reps, you know, high intensity duration, and that there's a lot of duration there, a lot of sets, okay? Let's say you got that part, the pull day, you got it to damage or something. Well, you come in the next day, you're not going to want to lift. See what I mean? You're not going to want to lift, bro. You got fucking so much damage that it's ridiculous. So that's why this is futile. I have to do a full body workout because the damage, it has to grow together in unison. I'm not going to do one part, it's all damaged. Now I can't come back for the whole week. What about the other part? And what, am I going to flip it over the next week? It's ridiculous. No thanks.
So that's what
He's just wasting his time here, pretending, oh, it's gay, you know, making these faces.
Was doing, because I was eating 4 or 5 times a day. I mean, dude, I was totally diligent. I really never missed a meal. I mean, if anything, I would eat over what I was supposed to, because, you know, maybe on the weekends go out to eat or get some snacks whenever you feel like it.
Okay, what's that going to do? That excessive amount of food is not going to build muscle. It's not the food, dude. You didn't cause anything to happen in the muscle so it could grow.
Quite the stoner back in the day too, so I would get, you know, baked and eat a bunch of snacks too. Kind of frequently, in fact. It just was not enough to facilitate the overall muscle mass gains and weight changes that I was looking for. And, you know, you'll see all this content online, man, all this
weight gain changes, muscle mass, yeah, okay.
bulking, fear-mongering content. A lot of that comes from ex-binge eaters and former fat people. And for them, I get it, right? For them, they have to be much more careful than someone like me. But I know a lot of you guys are in a situation like me too. Your weight does not move very much. You're gonna have to figure this out for yourself. So I've said before, and you can check out the video in the top corner for more information and see the full thing, but I don't like to just go off a scale number, like how much weight should I gain per week? I don't give a set number because I don't like chasing a scale number. That's how you give yourself a justification to gain too much fat too quickly. That's a good philosophical debate to have, right? It's okay, would you rather have an increased chance of getting fat and you gain fat quicker, but you build muscle quicker, or really have a very small chance of ever truly getting fat, but you build muscle slower overall? And some of you guys probably have...
I have no clue what he's talking about, man. Honestly, I don't even know what he's talking about a lot of the time.
The worst of both in that regard.
Okay, whatever.
I think I'll do another video too coming up about the so-called...
Honestly, this video is really boring. It's really long. It's really boring. I don't know why I chose to do this video, just because gets tired doing blah. People get tired of blah.
Like, just nightmare scenario that a lot of guys are in, like kind of that skinny fat range. You just don't know what to do.
And here's another thing. I do not want to help this guy. Blaha, even though I do reaction videos and I explain how to build muscle and everything, and Blaha watches my videos, Blaha is stubborn. I know he won't ever do eccentric exercise. He won't do anything. He won't do any of those things. So it doesn't really matter. Blaha will just fail on his own volition. But this guy, I don't want to educate him. You understand me? I don't want to set him on the right path. I like these fitness people to fail. You understand me? I'm only concerned about my channel. I don't give a shit about these channels.
I've made some videos about skinny fat before, but we might be due for another one.
Whatever, man. Oh, yeah, God. Lifting slave mentality. Here we go.
You see examples of
butt cheek squeezing. There you go. Squeeze those butt cheeks. As hard as you can get them to squeeze.
Genetic mastodons all the time on the internet. Of course, they're going to blow up, but that's not the case with the vast majority.
There's inferiorities coming out. These mastodons, these so-called muscle mastodons, this and that. Bro, there's always going to be people that eat better than you or taller than you, bigger than you, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about mastodons, but whatever. They're mostly people taking steroids online or faking it or something. Okay, dude? You haven't even met a real bodybuilder, because if you had met a real bodybuilder, he could set you on the right path. But you don't know what real bodybuilding is about.
So you can watch people who kind of screw things up. Everyone's got a friend. Oh, but my friend, bro, he eats whatever he wants and he benches 315 and he has abs, whatever it's going to be. It's like, okay, cool.
Okay, and your point?
Can you do that? No, you can't. So there's no point in using these outlier examples as not only the rule, but like, it's like, oh, he can do it, so there's proof. It's like, sure, a small percentage of people can. Most of us, man, I mean, just to get in general good shape, okay, just even...
Again, his mentality, he needs to change it. He keeps thinking it's about performing slave. Oh, he can bench 315, he's got abs. It's not about benching 315, bro. You understand me? It's not about performing slave.
If you have like a modest goal, okay, if you want to just be built at low teens body fat, you can't just coast your way there, bro. I mean, that's the really unfortunate reality about it. Yeah. Even some goals that would be very underwhelming by internet standards. Yeah. For most of us, you can't even sort of half-ass or stumble your way into that. At least not in any good time frame. Maybe if you want to stumble around for 10, 15 years, okay? I know you don't want to wait that long, though. I sure as hell didn't and don't.
He wants to wait 10, 15 something years to do what? To keep doing concentric exercises and hope for the best, that maybe there will be a different outcome? How stupid is that? That's ridiculous.
But just to get to like a reasonable goal like that, yeah, it's going to take dialing in pretty much everything, at least to a very good extent. Maybe
all the progress that you possibly made by accident in those 50, let's say you made some accidental progress in 15 years. Okay, maybe you got some eccentric here and there. You did something you were unaccustomed to doing, unfamiliar, whatever, something, I don't know. Maybe you were untrained, whatever. In all that 15 years, you probably could have done it in like 3 months. 4 months of lifting eccentrically. You could have done it in 4 months eccentrically what you could have done, what you probably were shooting for concentrically lifting, and you accidentally maybe got something over a 15-year period. How crazy is that?
You're not 100%, but you're going to have to be like minimum 80, 90% for a good length of time to get there. So keep that in mind as you go through your fitness journey. And I'm about done here. I'm getting pretty tired. I'm tired of talking too. I'm out of words and jokes and everything. So have a blessed
That's good.
one.
This message has been paid for by Revival Fitness and approved by me. So,
Look how young he is here.
yeah, get to it.
Anyways, you tell me what you think about that, man. Just failure, bro. This guy's really boring. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.